President Trump sounding off on the Democrats' inability to push ahead with a new North American trade deal. The president tweeting out today, quote, "Can't believe that nervous Nancy Pelosi isn't moving faster on USMCA. Her people want it. They don't know why she isn't putting it up for a bipartisan vote. Taking too long!" Exclamation point and comments there from the president. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro joining us now. So what the heck is going on with this trade deal? When is it going to be voted on, Peter? You have any idea?
Well, it is taking way too long, but there was a good group of bipartisan folks beating the bushes up on Capitol Hill today. Ambassador Lighthizer is doing a great job meeting with leadership as well as the labor end of the equation. So the problem, David, is we're running out of days on the legislative calendar. This is a great deal for America. You know, it's twice the size of the China deal. We export 5 times as much to Mexico and Canada as we do to China, and we really ought to be talking more about this. For me, this is like a test of Nancy Pelosi, whether she can rise above all of this partisan politics and do what's good for the country.
Well, they say they can do the impeachment thing and this at the same time, but people are wondering, and you said on October 3rd right here on Fox Business that if we don't get a vote this month, it probably won't happen. Do you stick by that?
Well, here's the problem. There's no more, there's only a few more days left in October in the legislative calendar. In November, the first couple of weeks, they're gone. The House is gone. The Senate's there, but the House is there. So they're back for a few days before Thanksgiving. And this is going to be a real turkey if Nancy blows this. And I worry about that. You wonder, David, come on. These people get up every day. They go to Capitol Hill instead of doing USMCA or infrastructure or drug pricing or a number of things they could do. They just dive into the swamp with their boots on. It's just nuts.
All right, but again, I want to press you on this. If we don't get it done by the end of this month, you said before on this channel it probably won't get done. Do you stick by that?
Well, we've got a couple of days left before Thanksgiving. I'm gonna wiggle out of that last one and say if we don't get it done by Turkey Day, then it's going to be problematic. I mean, really. I mean, the problem is, I don't know what these people get paid for. They're never there working. And then when they're working, they're doing stuff that doesn't really advance the welfare of the American people. Farmers, ranchers, manufacturers, workers all benefit from USMCA. What's Nancy Pelosi doing? Well,
no doubt the economy would take off even more than it has if we get it signed. But I want to switch gears to China.
Just let me say one more thing. I got my 30,000 on the Dow bet going if we get USMCA by the first of the year. So hold me to that one too.
I will indeed. But turning to China, we had Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross on. He told Maria Bartiromo yesterday he wants the right kind of deal, and having it done by next month is not so critical to him. It's not so much timing, but getting it right. Do you agree with that?
So the Lighthizer rule is all negotiations happen behind closed doors. But, David, what I can tell you is those negotiations are taking place. Ambassador Lighthizer is working both at the deputy level and principals level. We are on a glide path to Chile to paper that deal. So as the president loves to say, let's see what happens.
Well, you mentioned Chile. That's the meeting next month at which the president of China will be there with President Trump.
Not going to be riding the subway there anytime soon. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, indeed. They're having some problems down there, some protests.
What I love to do every time I go to a new city, by the way, is ride the subway, but I'll skip it in Santiago.
December 15th, we've got these new tariffs coming on with China. If, in fact, there is a signing of Phase 1 down in Chile, will those tariffs end?
So that's a decision made by the president, but let me remind you that we want a Phase 2 and we want a Phase 3, and the only way we get the Chinese to focus on these things is by applying appropriate pressure. So that's a decision up to the president. Let's see what happens as the truck goes by behind me. Look, let's focus now on USMCA and Phase 1 before Thanksgiving. That would be a great gift to the American people. I'm feeling bullish right now, but my heart's been broken before, David.
All right, indeed. Well, I want to talk for a second about a guy named Ron Vera.
Sure.
Because Ron Vera is a pen name that you used in a number of your books. It's, for those who haven't figured it out, it's an anagram for the name Navarro. It was kind of an interesting thing that people were talking about last week. But now we got the Chinese making it something very big. They said, and I'm quoting, "It will not only impact and threaten normal international relations and order, but in the long run, it will ultimately harm the interests of the United States itself." What do you make of the Chinese and their focus on this?
Well, Ron is throwing out the first pitch at the World Series tonight, and I heard that they took away his visa in China, so that's all I could say about it. It's just good fun.
Well, they don't think it's good fun. They say that your statement should be carefully screened from now on. What do you make of that?
Have you ever met a member of the Chinese Communist Party that had a sense of humor?
I have to say I haven't, to tell you the truth. I haven't seen a joke from one of them.
I've been eyeball to eyeball with them in these negotiations. So, have a laugh.
All right. And one more thing that happened last week. It was in a Wall Street Journal, a piece about an Oval Office meeting that took place. Larry Kudlow put it together with a bunch of trade people. Steve Moore, one of our panelists, was there. You were called in the middle of that meeting. It led some people to wonder whether you're all on the same team vis-a-vis trade in China. What would you say to that?
What happens in the Oval stays in the Oval.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Peter, we tried our best, but we did have a good conversation. Thank you very much. Great to see you again, my friend.
All right. See you at the World Series.
Well, I wish. I don't have tickets.